Sorry, I am 2 minutes late. I had to go rescue my phone from the charging station, and I thought it was charging all this time, and you know what? It wasn't. So it's plugged in, and hopefully it's going to last. If not, I will come back. I will come back. Sometimes it shuts off when it's not charged properly. But before we get started, I think you're going to love tonight's card. This is what we're doing, and so it's just a really beautiful fall card, and it really is a whole lot easier than it looks, and these colors are just magnificent. So we are just about at peak season here, I think. Some places north of maybe a little bit past, but it's looking beautiful down here. So I wanted to show you how you could create these vibrant fall colored leaves. And it starts with Fluid 100 watercolor paper. So this is really great quality watercolor paper. And let's see if I can get in the package. There we go. And this is cold pressed. It's 100% cotton. So it's the good stuff. I am going to use a whole sheet of this, and I'm probably going to have to protect my surface because I'll probably make a mess. So we're going to start with the watercolor paper, and I'm going to bring in some water painters. Now if you have paintbrushes, that's fine too. The water painters come in 3 different sizes. So there's this big brush end, which we're going to use. There's the medium, which we're going to, I guess, use. We could use this one, or we could use the small one. I think I used the small one earlier. So there's just a smaller one and a medium one and a big one. So there's a Papa Bear, a Mama Bear, and a Baby Bear. Now, if I'm using a lot of water, which I am tonight, I bring in a cup of water, because I just think it's a whole lot easier than continuously squeezing this and maybe even having to refill it. The other thing you're going to need are some bottles of re-inker. Now you don't have to use this many, but I did. So I used crushed curry, pumpkin pie, Cajun craze, cherry cobbler, and old olive. And what I did was I put these, just a couple drops, into a palette dish. So I know how I did this already. So I know that this is my old olive, and then it went light to dark as far as the leaf colors. So this is my crushed curry. So all I did was I put a drop, I really put 2 drops into each ink well. And this is what we're going to color with, because it gives you a lot more vibrancy than just picking up off the pad. It's hard to do that with the water painters, so that's what I've just decided to do. You want to get your watercolor paper pretty wet. So I'm gonna just keep dipping. The more wet it is, the more the ink spreads. So I'm going to work in small sections at first. Okay, so I've got that like there. And I'm going to bring in, say, just a little bit of my yellow. And so I don't even think I have enough. I could use really more water on here. I really want it to spread very quickly. And so you can run over it and get it to help it spread. That'll work too. And then maybe I pick up a different color. Here's the pumpkin pie, just in some different spaces. And then here's some, now I don't have to change my, I don't have to clean off my brush if I'm just going to darker colors anyways. So here's some, and it doesn't necessarily look pretty right now. It's not right now that we have to worry about. This is where I think the beauty comes in when you add the cherry cobbler. Don't worry about those real dark spots. They'll work out just fine as well. So you just keep going until you have something that works for you. Now, I'm going to rinse off in my cup of water here. I'm going to add some more water. And this time I'm going to concentrate more on, because I'm cutting different kinds of leaves. So this is kind of where my maple leaves will come from. But then I also want some oak leaves. And so those are going to be sort of my my yellow and my green. I'm going to bring in some of my old olive, which is right here. So I'm just kind of working a little quickly so that the paper doesn't dry in between. All right, so just move it around. I think I do want just a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit more water here. I'm going to put just a little bit more cherry cobbler here, just because I love the vibrancy of it. All right. And then let's see, what else do I want? Maybe I just want a little bit more of the green stuff too. Just, you know, some of the leaves that haven't really started turning yet. So I'll just add some more water. And again, I'm moving fairly quickly so that I have spreadability in here. See how this kind of just like that? That's kind of what you want. I'm going to bring in some more yellow here. And I want to bring in a little bit more red down here. Just, why not? Because I like it. It's my favorite. That's why. And we'll just go ahead and bring it back a little bit more green up here. So this is just more for just regular green leaves. All right, maybe we'll put in a touch more of yellow. And so you can see this ink goes a long, long way. So when you're doing this, you want to keep that in mind and maybe do more than one sheet at a time. I think I'm going to bring in a little bit of pumpkin pie here, just to orange it up a little bit over here. All right. So it's not necessarily all that much to look at right now, right? Okay, so now this is a hot mess. It's a hot, wet mess, actually. So we're going to bring in our heat tool. And we're going to just dry this. And it doesn't take super long to dry. Okay, while I'm drying it, I'm going to talk about a couple other things, because I think you can probably still hear me over this. I'm hoping so anyways. So right now, Stampin' Up! During the month of October is having a starter kit special. So whether you just want the best deal in the catalog, which is the starter kit, or you want to work it as a business, doesn't matter, both of these are for you. So in honor of their 35 years in business, they have 35 off or 35 more. So you can get 35% off the cost of the regular starter kit. So the regular starter kit, you choose $125 of merchandise of your choice. Anything you want up to $125, and you'll pay 35% less than you usually do. So normally it's $99, so 35% less is going to put it at $64.35. Or if you have a lot of things on your wish list, maybe you've got a couple bundles, stuff like that, you can get 35% more. So instead of picking out $125 worth of product, you can pick out 35% more, which comes to be $168.75. So you can get $168.75 worth of product for only $99. And really it gets a little bit better because it's free shipping. So you think about that, it's free shipping on both of them. The starter kit is always free shipping. But if you think about free shipping on $168 worth of product, you're looking at probably close to 20 bucks saved just there. And then not only that, but they'll give you a free registration to a demonstrator-only event in November. So that's pretty cool. But the best part is, I think, you get to join a really fantastic team if you join the Stamperhood, my team. We're about 20 strong right now and growing, and would love to have more because the more the merrier. All right, that's feeling pretty good. Maybe still a little damp, but not really damp, but there's probably a little bit of moisture in there, but that's okay. That's good enough for right now. So that's a special that's going on the rest of October. And because October is the first month of the Stampin' Up! Year and quarter, then you get to have the rest of this quarter with your minimums waived, and then you only have to have a total of $300 in sales or purchases by the end of April 2024. That's almost 7 months. All right, so I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Here's my number 1, 2, and one of my 3 plates. And I've got my other 3 plate right here. And we're going to have to bring in my dies, which I'm going to show you what I did to them, if I can find them. I hope I can find them because I kind of need them for this project. Oh, here they are. So usually I mount them on a piece, excuse me, of a magnetic sheet here. And they do all fit on this one because they all came on this one, but I got tired of fighting with it and trying to figure out how in the world they would go on there to fit nicely. So I just brought in another sheet because I got sick of really fighting with it. So let's go ahead. One of the things that's really great about these autumn leaves dies is that for these dies right here, there's 2 of each of them. So I can cut out 2 maple leaves. And I can cut out 2 oak leaves. And I can cut out 2 of these other, I don't know what kind of leaves, all in one pass. I'll just try to work them as close together as possible. And we'll crank them through. Now you can try, these are typical New England leaf colors, but you can try all sorts of combinations of colors. You can get funky with your leaves if you want to. So let's take some of these out. Let's see if we can. Yeah, I can feel that there's a little bit of moisture in this just because it feels soft. I can't explain it any better than that, really. So let's see which ones came out, which ones didn't come out. This one didn't come out. We'll just take our little take your pick tool and get these out, and then we'll run it through another time. What did everybody do today? How was the weather in your neck of the woods? It's getting cool here, so it really only got up to about 60 something today, I think. So it's definitely feeling like autumn in New England. Let's see, we're gonna run out of room over here. Let's do this. And let's see, what else did I do? I worked most of the day. And who else is on here? Chime in on the chat. Let me know you're here. I want to know who's watching. I know Sheila's here. And I know Reba is here. Sheila had the same weather I had because I work in the same town she lives. And Reba lives far away in Alabama. So her weather was probably a little bit different. I think heard that my sister, Tony, who never chimes in here because she doesn't sign into Facebook, I don't think. I think she's headed to Ohio this weekend, so she might experience a little bit of different weather. I'm not sure what everybody's getting around here. My son, who is, you may have heard me tell once or twice, is he really gets anxious about weather, and he starts texting me, when are the thunderstorms coming? And I'm like, there are no thunderstorms in our forecast. So I think I pleased him with that response. We'll see. And you know, because I have it right here, I'm going to go ahead and run it through one more time, because you can use a little leaves or you can use a lot of leaves. It's really up to you on this project, but I'm going to use as much of this as I can for sure. So I don't want to waste this beautiful paper that I've created. And it's okay if just little bits and pieces of your leaf go off. Like I could send this off the page a little bit if I wanted to, because I can use partial leaves on the edges of my project. That would not be a problem at all. All right, so this is, I'm just gonna, there's still another pass that I could probably take after this, but we're gonna call it good right after this. Anne says the weather in Lyman was chilly but sunny. So Lyman's not very far from us either, so that's, oh, sorry. Sorry, I have my phone plugged in, so of course that means if I move too much, that's what you get. Sorry about that. So here we go. So you can see that none of these leaves are the same. They're all a bit different. And you know, remember when I told you, don't worry about that really dark spot in there because it'll, you know, it'll turn out fine. I'm going to show you, like there are leaves around here that truly look the way this one leaf especially came out. I'll show you. All right, let's get this out of here. So see, look at this leaf right here. That is so typical of a leaf around here. It does really get some strong pigmentation in some of the areas. I have a single maple tree on my property out front. Well, I might have more on my property, but the only one I can really see is the one that, you know, I can see out front. And it's so beautiful. Like when it is in peak foliage, I can see the glow in my living room, you know, in the late day. It's so pretty. I love it. All right, now I debated on what to use for a background for this, because I could use maybe a brown, because a brown would look nice with this, right? Because it's, you know, it's fall-ish. But I chose to go with black, which I'm gonna have to get another piece out. Here's my card base. So, and you can choose what size piece of cardstock that you use, obviously. You can make it a big layer or a small layer. So let's see, if I were to put this on here, it's a relatively smallish layer, but I think that might have a nice pop to it. I think I want it a little bit bigger though. So I'm going to start with a black piece that's bigger than I need. So I might as well just cut a quarter sheet. So 5.5 by 4 1/4, because I'm going to trim it down a little bit after I put the leaves on so that it doesn't look like the leaves are all contained on the black piece. You'll see what I mean in just a second. Set this aside. So now we just go ahead and start to arrange our leaves. And you can literally just kind of throw them on here and see how they look. See if that's what you like. But look at how striking this is against the black. I mean, isn't it just the prettiest prettiest thing you've seen. All right, now when I'm throwing these, I say I'm throwing these on here, and I kind of am, but I don't want all my leaves going in the same direction. So like some of them I want the little stems down, some of them I want up, all that stuff. And some of them I don't want too close together. So we'll just keep going. Now we are going to put a little sentiment on here, so I don't have to worry too much. But you can see, I mean, there's no real wrong way to go about this. It's going to look pretty no matter what you do. Promise. Promise, promise. So now let's just go ahead and put on some of the adhesive. And again, I'm cutting this down so I can try to keep the leaves contained within that border. But I do want to go right to the edges if I can with some of them. You'll see what we get when we're done with this. So remember how last week I told you I had a spa day, right? It was a gift. It was a Christmas gift that I'd finally used with a friend, and you know, it was a nice thing. We went to the spa and we got pampered, and it was really nice. But honestly, the manicure that I got lasted 0 days. It was already starting to come off last Friday. It was really bad, so I had to go out and buy some nail polish and put some more on because it's just, and my friend's was good. I don't know what happened to mine, but mine was just flaking off everywhere. So I was not impressed. Glad I didn't pay for it. I'm glad it was a gift. It's funny, I do have another, another certificate for a manicure somewhere that my husband gave me for Christmas. I don't use these things in a timely fashion, do I? But hey, it's before the next Christmas, so. Do you guys, why is, Reba, I just read your comment. Why has Alabama got the same temperature that Maine does? That just doesn't seem right. So tell me, do you guys like to pamper yourselves? Do you like to go for manis or petties? What's your favorite, mani or petty? I will admit that petty is my favorite because I get to sit in the massage chair and have my feet pampered. I mean, not that it's not fun to have your nails worked on too and your hands pampered, but boy, something about sitting in that chair relaxing while the chair does its thing, and so nice. All right, I'm trying to find out which ones I've got glued down and which ones I don't. I'm almost done here. Now this is truly I think it's a special card. So when I'm giving this to somebody in the near future, it's going to be somebody that really, really made an impression one way or another on me. Well, in a good way, obviously. Where's this one going? I think right here. Right across those guys. That one's not even down. That was my fear. Put it back there. How about that? All right, I think. All right, they're all down there. Oh, there's this little guy here. Oh, you might as well put him somewhere. You could have saved him for the inside of the card, I suppose, but too late now. All right, so we've got that on the black. Now we want to cut it down so that it is smaller than the card base, obviously. So I think I want to go, instead of 1/4 of an inch smaller layer, I want to go 1/2 inch smaller layer. So if this is 5 1/2, I want something that measures 5 this direction, And if this is 4 1/4, I want something that's 3 3/4. I'll bring in my trimmer. Now, because I've got something sticking out on the edges, I can't really put it to the bottom and hope it's straight. I'm going to use this over here. And I'm just going to trim 1/4 inch around everywhere. So 1/4 inch on this side and 1/4 inch on that side gives me my 1/2 inch. Does that make sense? And I just want to hold it down. And because it's going through a couple layers, one of which is a watercolor paper, which is thick, I want to go ahead and rub that a couple times. And so then I'll do the same thing over here. Now it's flat on one edge because it's the edge I just trimmed. So now I'm going to go 1/4 inch over here. And you not all of these edges get glued down because I don't put glue on the entire thing. So you might be able to use it as someplace else, like in the inside of the card, and you might not. Depends how good you were with your glue. And then one more, make it 5 inches. All right, there we go. And so here we have this. We will, I'm going to leave it just like that for a second. Let's bring in a scrap piece of crumb cake, which matches the base. And I'm just taking that sentiment that says autumn teaches us that change, I don't know, what's it say? Autumn teaches us that change can be beautiful. I'm going to bring out cherry cobbler, I think. Any of those fall colors except for the yellow would probably work great. And that's my sentiment. I need to bring back in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I will try not to hit my camera this time when I'm either putting it up or taking it down. And go ahead and grab in this die that came in that Autumn Leaves die set as well. So this is the Autumn Leaves bundle. Now, for those of you who love that All About Autumn Designer Series paper, it was in and out in like 5 hours again. It is such popular paper. Oh, you had a massage today, Anne? Yes, that's so nice. I booked one today. Does that count? I booked one for next month because I just, of course, had a spa day, so. All right, so here is, so anyway, that All About Autumn DSP is out again, and it's supposed to come back the week of August 23rd. So I'm going to be watching that very closely because even though, you know, I'm kind of moving on to Christmas, there's still quite a bit of autumn left. And I could get something in and use it for the rest of November, and I could be done with it in November anyway. All right, I don't need to use this first. I need to stop talking so I can concentrate. So I'm going to decide where this is going to go. It can go up here. It can go down here. See, there's kind of a little bit of a void up there. So I think I'm going to put it right up there. And I'm going to bring in this wavy trim, which is such cool trim. I'm going to cut that a little bit larger than that layer. And we will bring in glue dots to secure it. You can use tape. You can use whatever you want. I'm just going to use some glue dots. And when I figure out where it goes, I'm going to run it right across about there. I'll flip it over and we'll just put some glue dots down. Now, it's always a good idea not to touch the glue dots if you can help it, because by touching them, the oils from your fingers will make them not quite as sticky. Oh, that took the paper off. All right, let's try this again. There we go. The other way you can do it is take your pick tool and take it off. The problem with doing it this way is it does warp that piece, and usually to get it off, you take your pick tool, you have to touch it. So we're going to have something that looks like that. I can further secure it with dimensionals if I want to. I'm going to just put on the ends there. And I want my dimensionals in the corners. I like to make sure that it's not going to sag in any spots. So I'm fairly liberal with my dimensionals. And there we go. So we have something that looks just like that, I think. Let me get that little scrap out. And then we're going to take our sentiment layer. And I'm leaving some space for that wavy trim to kind of go right through the middle. Uh-oh. What was that? Can't tell if that's leaf or, oh, it's part of my nail polish. Let's see, I guess I'm just not as good. I'm not even very good at putting my nail polish on. All right, so there is the card. And of course, if we wanted to, we could bring in something. Let's see, those brass butterflies are pretty. What else we got in here? I want something that's nice and bright and cheery. But I don't think I want those regular ones there. I could maybe use some of these yellow dots. But I don't know. I think I'm just going to let that speak for itself. Maybe I'll put on some brass butterflies. Now these things are really nice and flat. I'm going to create a project on Sunday, not using these, but showing you these, just like I'm showing you now. These are birds and dragonflies, and these are going to be coming up in a future release. So this is for our November online exclusives release. So here's a sneak peek for you. But these brass butterflies are nice and flat, and so are those other gems over there. In fact, I would say that these look like they might even be flatter than these. Like these are maybe twice as thick as these, I think. So flat is really nice because it mails a lot better. So let's see, where are we going to put some of these? We'll put one there. And let's put one right here, fill a little spot. Maybe we actually overlap it. How about I use my take your pick tool, which is what it's for. Okay, there we go. And maybe one more. Let's take a little one. There we go. So we just have some butterflies flying around there. And that is our card. So again, this is going to be part of my November thank you card series, where I send out a card every single day in November. So I'm not going to do much of anything inside. Probably after we get off camera, I will go back to this sheet and cut a couple leaves and stick them on in the middle. But you get the drift of that. You don't need to see me do that. So one other thing I wanted to let you know is I have some classes coming up, part of my Christmas class card series. Now the October 21st class, that is all filled. I don't have any more room because I had to place an order for materials in order to get it in time. So this one is no longer available. But on November 4th, I have 2 classes, and these you can do, one or both. So whether you stay, an hour and a half, 2 hours, or whether you stay 3 or 4 hours, there's 1 or 2 classes to choose from. One is the Rustic Christmas Countdown, and that is a from the Kits collection, and it is an Advent sort of project. So there's no stamping involved, but you're creating little treat envelopes that you can hang from a tree or from a string, like a piece of twine, and use it as a Christmas countdown. And then Merriest Trees is, so the Christmas countdown is $22, and that includes the shipping and handling and tax because it is a kit. And the Merriest Trees is a class that is 6 cards. I think it's $22, but it might be 20. I'd have to look online. Or free with a purchase. So I think it's $20 or free with a $25 purchase. And you make 6 cards, 2 each of 3 different designs. Then on November 18th, I have my 2 dozen in 2 hours class. You're going to make 2 dozen cards. It's 24 Christmas cards. Doesn't have to be Christmas because one of the papers is kind of a winter paper. Let me show it to you. Uh-oh. You know what I did again? Sorry. Oh, goodness. Where are we here? All right, I'm trying to turn you around. You don't need to see me. There we go. Oops. All right, I got to put a weight on my thing. Okay. Let's see. Oh, now it's telling me I need to turn my camera. All right, I think we're good. Sorry. So one of the papers is this beautiful winter meadow paper, and so it's really just a wintry kind of feel. You can make it Christmas, or you can make it winter birthdays and other greetings. It just depends on what sentiments you use. And so, and then there's Shining Christmas that goes, that's the other one, and Shining Christmas is this one. So it's Mossy Meadow and Cherry Cobbler, and it's all foil kind of paper. So that's kind of fun too. So you can make 24 cards in 2 hours. Great class, especially if you're behind on your Christmas cards. And then on December 2nd, I'm going to be creating, I have 2 classes. One is a luminary card class. And I think I have one of those right here. So what I don't have is I don't have the tea light to go in it right now. But this is an easel card, and you put a little tea light right in here. So right in here, and it shows through this vellum because this is vellum. And so we're going to create 3 luminary cards. This is one of them. There are 2 other different ones. And so that's the luminary card class. And then there's a framed decor option, and that one I have. Hopefully the glare is not going to be too much. So here is my home decor piece. Oh, my desk is a mess right now. Here's the home decor piece. So it's comes in a black frame, or you'll put it in a black frame. And you've got pieces that are cut from various cardstock, and this background is one of the designer series papers, and we just emboss it with Oh Holy Night. And so that is another option on December 2nd. And if you sign up for at least 4 of these 8 classes, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 classes, if you get in on at least 4 of them, then you qualify for an extra special class that is no charge. It is creating 2 ornaments and a gift card holder. So those are my upcoming classes. Don't forget, I also have, I'm going to turn you around so you can see me, and so that I don't end up, where'd it go? What a night. Whew. Anyway, don't forget, we have 12 Sundays of Christmas going on. We have done 2 Sundays, and so this Sunday makes Sunday number 3, and I'll have a different project. So each Sunday at 3 p.m. I come to you with a class for either packaging or a gift something that you can make. And the first, yes, last time was a pouch, I think. And so it's just a bunch of different packaging ideas and gift ideas. So I think you'll like it. Sunday should be pretty quick and easy. If you are not already a member of Stampin' Up! As far as like a demonstrator goes, and you've considered the great deal that is that 35 off or 35 more that's going on right now, I'm going to have a Q&A session on Sunday at 4 p.m. So not too long after my 12 Sundays of Christmas. And I will answer any questions that you have, as well as tell you a little bit more about the opportunity and what it means and what it doesn't mean. Because many people really think that they have to sell, they have to make videos, they have to do things that I do, and that's not the case. And some of you think, I don't know what you think about the minimum requirement, but you know what? If you don't meet the minimum, doesn't matter. You still have the stuff that you got in your starter kit, and you just go back to being a happy customer. So I'm just going to allay some fears and I'll answer any questions. I will have some other people on there as well, so you don't have to feel alone. If you want to submit your questions in advance, you can. But that is by Zoom. And I'm going to be sending out a link to my customer mailing list shortly. And so if you don't get that because you don't get my emails, just shoot me an email, stamperhood@gmail.com, and I would be happy to get you that Zoom link. You have to register for the Zoom so that I know who's going to be there, because if nobody's going to be there, I don't want to be there either. So, but I'm planning on it. Oh, I think that's about it, right? I think so. I'd really rather be stamping all day tomorrow, but I do have a party in the park to go to. I'm working it. It's an event that my church is putting on for our community, and it's going to be lots and lots of fun. So I'm looking forward to that, but it means no stamping tomorrow. So I hope to see you on Sunday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.